Hello students, a very good morning to you. How are you? I hope you all okay and doing your work properly. Very good student, keep it up. Today we will continue our chapter 13 of class 11, that is photosynthesis in higher plants. Chapter 13, that is photosynthesis in higher plants. Today we will complete the chapter and today's last topic is external factors that affect the rate of photosynthesis. In our last class, we have studied about Blackman's law of limiting factor, and in that class we know that how some internal factors, means plant factors, affect the rate of photosynthesis. Today we will consider about the external factors or the environmental factors that affect the rate of photosynthesis. This is completely based on theory, so students, you have to remember and memorize the topic. You can take the screenshot. Clear? So now let's discuss. As we know, the external factors are required by the plant for doing photosynthesis is light, carbon dioxide, then your water and soil. Soil is necessary for water. Then temperature. Light and temperature are equally means the same, but still they are different from each other in some ways. So we will discuss this. First environmental factor, that is we will discuss light. How light an important factor to affect the rate of photosynthesis. Whether it will be more faster or less faster, light is an important factor. Light quality and its intensity affect photosynthesis. You know that what is the light quality, whether the incident ray is high or low, then its intensity means the 7 colors in how much speed they reaches to the earth and received by the green plants. That's why light quality and its intensity affect photosynthesis. Means how much amount of light incident on leaf, that is a major factor to describe or to define photosynthesis or rate of photosynthesis. Second factor, the wavelength between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer is effective for photosynthesis, and this light is called as PAR. It means, as you know that while we are studying about photosystems PS1 and PS2, the light harvesting complex is associated with PS1 and whose intensity is, means it can trap approximately 700 nanometer range of light. So here photosynthesis will start or will effectively takes place when the light ranges from 400 nanometer and 700 nanometer. This is the best light intensity or wavelength that affects the rate of photosynthesis, means to increase or decrease. So in this, between this means 400 to 700 nanometer range of light, photosynthesis is effective and it is called as PAR. PAR means photosynthetically active radiation. Photosynthetically active radiation. It means if our earth receives 50% of sunlight, only 2 to 10% of light, remember student, 2 to 10% of light is PAR, means photosynthetically active radiation. And using this 2 to 10% of light, plants synthesize their food. So here we can say the light ranges, the wavelength of light ranges between, or we can say that is 400 and 700 is best to describe the amount of photosynthesis or increasing the photosynthesis process. Next point, as the intensity of light increases, photosynthesis increases. It means if light increases, intensity of light increases, means more wavelength of light is received by the plant, then the rate of photosynthesis increases. This is most important point. If the intensity of light increases, then the photosynthesis rate also increases. But at higher light intensity, the rate of photosynthesis do not increase. Means if the light intensity will be maximum or high, means beyond the range, means from 400 to 700 as I have told you. If the intensity of light increases from 700 nanometer, then it affects the rate of photosynthesis, means here the photosynthesis will not increase. Or we can say that what will happen if light intensity will be increased. If the intensity of light increase, then what will happen? The first thing happen will be other factors needed for photosynthesis having or maybe limiting. Means if plant receives maximum intensity of light, the other factors may be limiting. As you know, in Blackman's limiting factor, Blackman's law of limiting factor, if light is high, then other factors will be limiting, due to which the photosynthesis may be affected. And second reason, destruction of chlorophyll. If more intensity of light is received by the plant, then the chlorophyll present in the leaf, which is responsible for synthesizing food or which have the ability to trap light, then it will affect the rate of photosynthesis. Suppose we are cooking food. If we give more heat to the food, then the cook may be or the food may be spoiled. Exactly, if the amount or the intensity of light will be high, then it may spoil the chloroplast. If chloroplast will be spoiled, then photosynthesis can't be take place, as all the activities, all the enzymatic reactions takes place in the chloroplast. So we can say if the intensity of light will be high, then it may decrease or limit the other factors, as well as it may cause the destruction of chlorophyll. Clear? Next we will study about another external factor, that is temperature. You know that temperature is also an important factor. Without temperature a seed can't germinate into a plant. So how this temperature affects the rate of photosynthesis? The photochemical phase. Photochemical phase means light reaction, and the photochemical phase is less affected by temperature. Means light reaction is less affected by light reaction. Photochemical phase means light reaction. This light reaction is less affected by temperature. Means if the temperature will be high, then no effect on photochemical phase. Light reaction will continue. But the biosynthetic phase that involve enzyme catalyzed reaction is more sensitive to temperature and will get affected. Biosynthetic phase means dark reaction. If temperature increase, light reaction will not affect, means photochemical phase will not affect. But the biosynthetic phase will get affected. Why? Because during biosynthetical phase, different enzymatic reactions takes place. Means ATP and NADPH are used, they are synthesized, so they get affected. So it is called that temperature can't affect the photochemical phase, but can highly affect the biosynthetic phase that involve enzyme catalyzed reaction. Clear? So the C4 plants have a higher temperature optimal, while C3 plants have a lower temperature optimal. It means the C4 plants have the ability to resist a high range of temperature or can use high temperature for photosynthesis, but the C3 plants always need a low intensity of temperature or low range of temperature, or we can say lower temperature optimal. Clear? So how temperature affects the rate of photosynthesis? Photochemical phase is less affected, biosynthetic phase is more affected. Why it is more affected? Because chemically catalyzed reactions are occur. Then the C4 plants have no effect on high temperature, but the C3 plants get affected from high temperature. Next one is your CO2 concentration, means carbon dioxide concentration. Out of all external factors, the most important factor is your carbon dioxide. Means carbon dioxide is the main source for synthesizing food by the green plants. Means the amount of carbohydrate is decided by the amount of carbon dioxide concentration. If the carbon dioxide concentration get increased, then the stable product is more. Means like in your C4 plants OAA and in C3 plants PGA. So in C3 plants, rate of photosynthesis increase with increase in CO2 concentration. if the CO2 concentration get increased, then the rate of photosynthesis in C3 plants also get increased. As we know, C3 plants can't get more carbon dioxide because they show photooxidation. Photooxidation means they release carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, or respiration means they have photosynthesis and respiration simultaneously occurs at the same time, due to which they release more carbon dioxide and the rate of formation of starch or sugar is less. But here, if they get more carbon dioxide, means if C3 plants get more carbon dioxide concentration in their mesophyll cell, then the rate of photosynthesis will increase. And saturation occurs between or occurs beyond 450 microliter inverse. Clear? Saturation occurs beyond 450 microliter inverse. But in C4 plant, the saturation reaches at a concentration about 360 microliter inverse. It means the saturation level will be increased in C3 plants if the carbon dioxide is high, and that is up to 450 microliter inverse, and in C4 plants the saturation is about 360. It means they start preparing their food or synthesizing their food as they are receiving the amount of carbon dioxide till they will not reach at a saturation level. Saturation level means the amount of carbon dioxide and the amount of sugar formed will be in equilibrium. Means they will not lose the amount of carbon or carbon dioxide, and they utilize all the carbon dioxide. That's why if carbon dioxide get increased, then the C3 plants have the saturation that is beyond 450 microliter inverse, and in C4 plants it is 360 microliter inverse. Clear? Next external factor is your available soil water. Plants have a specialized structure called root, and the main function of root is to trap or absorb water from the soil. What will happen if the amount of water absorbed by the root is high or low? Clear? So let's see. Available of soil water means the root absorbs water from the soil. Water influences photosynthesis in two ways. Water also affects the rate of photosynthesis. Suppose you are growing seeds in your crop field, then if you not provide sufficient amount of water or required amount of water, then the seed may not be germinate, or if the plant grows may not be flowering occur, or if flower occurs then may not be, it gives crops or vegetables. That's why we can say available of soil water is an important factor. Whether we are providing water from outside, but still the plants need underwater or soil water. That's why in many parts of our country people depend on the rainwater, due to which the rainwater get absorbed by the soil and the crop can be properly grown. So water influences photosynthesis in two ways. First, if available of water decreases and plants show water stress. It means if the water inside the soil is less, then it will affect the rate of photosynthesis. Clear? So how it affects the rate of photosynthesis? It will show water stress. How will you know that the plant is showing water stress? The stomata close, hence there is decreased supply of CO2. As we know, stomata is the small opening guarded by a guard cell, and through the small opening the gaseous exchange and rate of transpiration occur. If the amount of water from soil is received by the plant is little or less, then the stomata gradually get closed, and due to which it can't get enough carbon dioxide. Means due to water the intake of carbon dioxide get affected, and if the amount of carbon dioxide will be less, then the rate of photosynthesis will be less. So here the point is exactly describes that if available of water decreases, plants show water stress. The stomata close, and hence there is decreased supply of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Second point which is responsible, that is, or the influence of soil water on photosynthesis. the leaves become wilted. Wilted means turns. It becomes curled like this. Suppose this is a leaf. This becomes wilted. Due to which the stomata and the chloroplast also get squeezed and can't get sufficient light as well as carbon dioxide because its surface area get increased. If you see these two leaves, this is a normal leaf and this is a wilted leaf. In this leaf, the surface area is maximum, due to which if the surface area is maximum, then the chloroplast is maximum, stomata is maximum, carbon dioxide receiving capacity is also maximum. But if the leaf wilts or calls, then its area get decreased, due to which the rate of photosynthesis will be affected. So these are the most important external environmental factors that affects the rate of photosynthesis in different type of plants, means in C3 and C4 plants. As we have completed this chapter, students, so this is the most important chapter in your book and many questions are come in your NEET exams from this chapter. So you have to thoroughly follow your NCERT book and read each and every line and underline. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me. Thank you.